American football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's gonna be a good one, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to one of the most storied postseason venues in the league. Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sold out once again. Coming up, divisional round Saturday. We've got an AFC battle on tap, as it'll be our visitors taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. It's been a good season for them so far. They're just looking to keep that momentum going forward.
They like their record. Now they want to increase it. A win here could really get the momentum going in the right direction.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here.
Even with all the games we have broadcast together over the years, partner, seems like every time we see something new and kind of get that feeling we might get something unique here in this one as well.
No two games are ever really the same, are they, Brandon? Because there's always a couple of little details, standout performances, big plays that help set each game apart. That makes every one of them entertaining to be a part of.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by a former most valuable player of the National Football League, the always dangerous Lamar Jackson.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
Steps away to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him, the mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just the third quarterback to reach that milestone, joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Steps away. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And that is something that we just saw there that you obviously have to be prepared for when you try to defend Lamar Jackson. That likely will not be the last time that we see him take off.
I love your language there, partner. You have to be prepared for it. You work at it. But I don't care how much you prepare, it is hard as heck to execute against Lamar Jackson. Great vision, great speed, tenacity, runs through tackles, makes people miss. It's always a long game when you're trying to corral Lamar Jackson.
We're scoreless after one. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they go to work on a first and goal. Henry is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And now third and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
On the move to his left. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Lamar Jackson A 5-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you have to figure that this is a confident quarterback who gets the start here. Coming off of a victory in round one, team doesn't have to travel. They get another home game here in the divisional round. And I know it sounds cliche, but playing at home, huge for a quarterback, huge for his team. They want to take advantage of it.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Being chased out left. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jackson now. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals doing battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
Final adjustments are underway in the locker rooms. Which of these two teams will survive and advance to next weekend's AFC Championship game? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game.
That's to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, first and goal. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson.
Pass out left finds Kohler.
That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 2 yards out. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points.
Well, that was quite a run there, but, boy, the tackling, it has left something to be desired all game long.
By my count, he broke at least 3. Okay, you know my math skills are not that great. Maybe even 4 tackles on that run, and that absolutely just can't happen. If you can't make the play yourself, at least be able to slow him down enough so that some others can get there and get him on the ground.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Play action. Now Wilson. Rolling to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after.
Touchdown!
Zay Flowers.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points.
Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go. And that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
It seems like they've been running uphill all game.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing is Wilson. Pressure comes and down he goes.
Nnamdi Madubuike.
Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Now 3rd down and very long.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. He's got him in. Complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 27.
Here's Wilson. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.